On Ashlyn Giza YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about some quotes that I really love and that I want my children to think about and read when they get older and when I'm gone someday. So, the first one, well, and my husband too, I want him to really, really think about these quotes. Um, Even now when I'm alive, but more when I'm gone. So, the first one's by Bob Marley. If she's amazing, she won't be easy. If she's easy, she won't be amazing. If she's worth it, you won't give up. If you give up, you're not worthy. Truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones worth suffering for. Bob Marley. So, basically, what that means is your kids, they're not always going to listen to what you're saying, but you love them, you suffer for them, you sacrifice things for your kids. Like I love to paint, I love to fish. Can't always do that because I have children and responsibilities with them. I don't always want to do their homework with them, but in order for them to have good grades in school, I have to help them study. It's a part of being a mother. Um, Husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. There's certain things they say or do that you might not like. There's movies that you might not like. There's things that they might leave around the house and you have to pick up after them. And, you know, different things like that. Um, and then there's family members, like brothers, sisters, moms, and dads that you might not get along with. But that just means, go to their Thanksgiving, go to the Easter, go to the Christmases, but doesn't mean you have to spend every hour with them. And if it's that bad to where you can't spend any holidays with them, then every time they text, every time they call, answer it, reply. If you can't do that, then just love them from afar and just let them be. Let it be. But you got to find the ones that are worth suffering for. So, the ones that don't care for too much for you, and you tried your best to be there and love them and talk to them and everything, and they just don't want to, you know, they can't make things work with you. Let them be, but don't let it ruin your peace. Um, But so yes, if somebody's worth it, you'll sacrifice and you'll do anything you can for that person that you love. Another quote that I love: life is what you make it. My friend Ryan always used to say this to me. He's passed away, rest in peace to him. I never really knew what that meant, which is so funny because it's so simple. Life is what you make it. And my dad, number one, before I even met my friend Ryan, my dad always used to say this quote too. But the quote is by Eleanor Roosevelt. So that's who the quote, life is what you make it, that's who said it. But my dad and my friend always used to say that. And it's perfect because it's so true. So if you're going to wake up in the morning, you can choose that day to be good. You can choose to be happy. We all have a choice. We all have free will. I'm a Christian, so in the Bible it talks about free will. And that's kind of like life is what you make it. That's kind of what that means. We all have a choice. So if you want to go to work that day and you know that there's bad things at work, that you have a lot of bad, annoying things that you have to put up with at work, you can either go to work and make that work day be a terrible day and just be drag and, oh, this is so boring. Oh, this is going to take forever. Or you can go to work and be like, this is shitty and this is going to take forever, but I'm not going to let it be that way. I'm going to go to work and smile at everybody and be like, hi, Todd, how are you doing over there? Hope you're having a good day. Oh, you did a really good job on that. I noticed that you worked extra hours doing that and stayed after work. I appreciate you for that. You can praise your coworkers and make a happy environment instead of being negative when you go to work. That took me a long time to realize that going to work with a negative attitude made my day harder. So that's a little example of life is what you make it. Same with husband and wife at home. You can be annoyed with your husband or wife and be like, here we go again. I've said this in my other previous video. Here we go again, coming home to the same person every day, coming home to the same old shit. Or you can make a change in the marriage and talk about things you want to that you want to work on and make better in your marriage or relationship, and a positive change. Life is what you make it. So that's what that quote is. Okay, here's another quote. This quote, it is what it is. According to New York Times, this phrase appeared as early as 1949 article by J.E. Lawrence. So J.E. Lawrence, according to New York Times, appeared in 1949. The quote, he said, it is what it is in the article. So basically the quote, it is what it is, means exactly what it's saying. It is what it is. So me and my husband are not getting along with his parents. My husband's tried talking to him, telling him how he feels about the way his dad can be sometimes. His dad's not having it, so guess what? It is what it is. So even though we want to try to make things work, and even though my husband wants so bad to talk everything through with his dad, and his dad's being so stubborn about it, let bygones be bygones. It is what it is. Can't do anything about it. Can't make your family love you. Can't pick your family. So it is what it is. Also, if you got a lot of bills, but you only have so much money, then that means you have to budget your money. It is what it is. You can't. It's out of your control. So really, that's all there is to that phrase. Okay, another quote. Do it now, sometimes later becomes never. And I'll tell you why I love that quote. Because, okay, you have money, and it's great to save money. It's also a need. I mean, we have to have money to eat. We have to have money to pay bills. Money is a necessity. But let's just say you have money in the savings, and there's a trip that you've always wanted to take to Florida or California or Colorado or New York or anywhere in the world, or the Philippines, Hawaii, any place you've ever wanted to go, and you have the money sitting in your bank account. Sometimes it's better to go just take the money and go do it. Go do something that you've always wanted to do. Eat the cake. Eat the cake that you've always wanted to eat. You're on a diet, okay. It's okay sometimes to just go eat that cookie. Because that's basically what it means. Do it now, because sometimes becomes never. And that quote's actually anonymous. And it's so perfect, too, because there's not always a promised tomorrow. There's not always a tomorrow, okay, people? I'm a cancer survivor, and when I was diagnosed with cancer, I got a different perspective on life. And that is a huge change that I started seeing when I was diagnosed with cancer, that there's not always a promised tomorrow. The type of cancer I have is usually a treatable cancer, and it has a good diagnosis, but it's a very hard cancer to live with. So Although I've been in remission for 4 years, some of my family and some of my friends failed to understand that this is a ongoing battle. It's not a cancer that you can just cut out and then you feel the same. Thyroid cancer affects your brain, the way you think. It affects your heart rate. It affects your blood pressure. It affects your talking skills. It affects it makes you feel your energy. It affects your energy. It can make you feel really, really restless, or it can make you feel really, really draggy and laggy. So, it's something that I have to live with every day. It's not gone. It's not gone just because the cancer got taken out of me. So when there's a movie that I want to go see, I'm going to go see it. When there's a trip that I want to go take, a little vacation that I want to take, I'm going to go do that. So my little family that sits there and talks about the way I spend my money and things that I do, they can all just go kiss my ass, because I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna go do. It's my life, and we only have one life to live, you guys. One life to live. So, here's another quote. This is one of my favorites. Empty your mind. Be formless. Be shapeless, like water. Now, you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. Put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. By Bruce Lee. That quote is by Bruce Lee, and it's one of my favorites. Basically, what it means is be flexible, and also be flexible in the mind and the body. It also means it's not about being rigid and stubborn about your beliefs, practices, understanding, and instead about being open-minded and be open to change and adapt to certain circumstances that we are put into. So that's what that quote means, to be like water. Go with the flow, be flexible, adapt to change. That's what that quote means. So it basically means don't sit there and okay, for an example, here's another example, and it's so perfect and fitting for the situation that me and my husband are in. So his dad is not wanting to listen to his son. His son's trying to explain to him certain things that rub him the wrong way about his dad, and his dad's not willing to listen, and his son's willing to work things out with his dad, but since his dad doesn't want to listen, my husband is being like water. He's just letting it go. He's adapting to the change in their relationship that they have. He's not letting it bother him. He's just allowing things to happen according to how they change. And that's the way we all should try to be. Nobody's perfect, but basically what that quote is saying, whatever situation's thrown at you, don't just make a rash decision, and make a negative decision out of it. Try to think about the situation you're in, and then make it into a positive situation, and let it be flowing like a trout stream, like spring waters, softly and calmly and peacefully, and I need to try to live more by these quotes, and by some of the things that I even say, because I have an anger management problem that I'm trying to deal with myself. But I did learn one thing, though, on this spiritual journey that I've been on, is that anybody toxic and anybody who does trigger your anger or your sadness or bring on any negativity towards you, Get them out of your life. I did learn that, because if you keep allowing those type of people to be in your life, it's gonna keep dragging you down. So I just thought that I would share some quotes with you guys that are important to me, and I wanted to record this so for my children, because when they get older, and they listen to this and they see me reading the quotes that are by these special people that made these quotes, they'll understand them someday. Maybe not now, but they will someday. And maybe someone who's watching this YouTube video right now, you might think about one of the quotes that I talked about, and something might just click one day. So I'm going to get off here. I feel like my blood sugar's kind of getting low. And I will be on with another life topic tomorrow. Thank you guys.